Welcome to Zoe Stories. I just wanted to try makeup, but Mom made me take it further. I always thought I knew who I was. Tyler Jameson, 19. Reserved. Tech nerd. Someone who kept his head down, made decent grades, and minded his own business. I wasn't the guy people noticed in a crowd. I preferred being invisible.
It was safer that way.
But what no one knew, not my friends, not even Leah, my girlfriend of 8 months, was that behind my locked bedroom door, I carried a secret. A whisper of a thought that never went away. It started with a glance. At makeup ads. At TikToks of transformations. At girls walking by in the hallway, confident in eyeliner and gloss, heels tapping like punctuation marks. I never wanted to be them, not exactly. But I wanted to feel that confidence. That glow. That femininity that seemed to come so naturally to them. And one day, curiosity got the better of me. It was a Saturday afternoon. Rain tapped gently on the windows, like a secret trying to slip in. My mom was out running errands. She was always out on weekends, between work and her weekly brunches with the girls. I usually had the place to myself for hours. I treasured that solitude more than I ever admitted. I stood in front of the bathroom mirror for what felt like forever. The drawer was already open. I'd opened it 20 minutes ago. My mom's makeup sat there like a forbidden treasure. Soft brushes, smooth lipsticks, and palettes that looked like miniature works of art. My heart raced just looking at them. Just a little, I whispered to myself. My voice was barely audible over the sound of my pulse thudding in my ears. I took a deep breath. Picked up a tube of nude lipstick. It felt heavier than I expected. I turned it slowly, watching the creamy stick rise like a secret uncoiling. My hands trembled. The mirror watched as I dabbed it on. The sensation, it was electric. Something about the glide, the transformation, the sudden contrast of my usually bare lips against my pale face. It woke something in me. Something gentle, and powerful, and terrifying. But just as I reached for the eyeliner, I froze. Footsteps.
No.
It couldn't be. I slammed the drawer shut and darted back to my room, wiping at my mouth with a tissue. I slammed the door behind me, heart pounding. A false alarm. Just the neighbor's dog barking outside. But I didn't try again that day. I met Leah in art appreciation class, and from the start, she was everything I wasn't: bold, curious, unapologetically herself. She wore funky earrings and mismatched socks and laughed way too loud. I liked that about her. She made life feel less heavy. She also had a sixth sense for spotting what people tried to hide. Maybe that's what scared me most. I never told her about the makeup drawer, about the lipstick, about the slow, burning desire to feel different. She wouldn't understand. Would she? I mean, what guy says he wants to try makeup just to see how it feels? I wasn't gay. I wasn't trying to be a girl. I just wanted to explore.
To see.
And yet, even thinking that made my chest tighten with guilt, with shame. Sometimes I'd look at her makeup bag, when she wasn't looking. I'd imagine myself sitting at her vanity, carefully tracing mascara on my lashes while she guided my hand. Stupid fantasy. It would never happen. That night, something shifted. My mom knocked gently on my door. "Tyler?" she asked. "Yeah, I'm going out with the girls. Back by 10. Okay." She hesitated. "Don't forget the dishes." Got it. The door shut behind her, and with it, the world. I sat there in my desk chair, spinning slowly, staring at the screen of my laptop, but not seeing anything. My heart was louder than the rain. Tonight could be the night. The lipstick hadn't scared me away. It had haunted me ever since. So I stood, walked softly to the bathroom again, opened the drawer. The eyeliner pencil rolled slightly, as if nudging me toward a decision. That's where it all started. Just one simple line along the edge of my eye. Just a dusting of powder on my cheeks. Just one brushstroke of blush. But it didn't end there. I didn't know it yet, but that night would be the last time I ever thought makeup was just makeup. Because somewhere down the line, my mom would find out. And instead of yelling, she'd say something I'd never expect. She'd smile.
And say,
"If you're going to do it, honey, then do it properly." And from that moment on, everything changed. I didn't expect it to happen again. But the next night, I found myself back at the mirror. The makeup drawer slid open more easily this time, like an old friend welcoming me back. Lipstick first, then blush. Eyeliner. I smudged it a little, but it still made my face look softer, warmer. I spent almost an hour just experimenting, wiping, reapplying, learning. The way a brush moved across my cheek, the delicate arc of a brow pencil. It felt like art. But it wasn't just the makeup anymore. The next time I opened the drawer, my eyes drifted lower, to the cabinet beneath the sink, where Mom kept her tights and spare lingerie. I told myself I was just curious, just looking. But before I knew it, I was slipping my legs into a pair of black pantyhose, heart pounding. The sensation made my breath catch.
Smooth. Tight.
Hugging every part of me like a secret. The way I walked felt different. Lighter. More graceful. My reflection in the mirror didn't look like Tyler. It looked like someone else. Someone prettier. Someone I didn't recognize, but wanted to know better. A week passed like that. Makeup became my secret ritual. Then lingerie. Then heels. One night, I tried on one of Mom's skirts. It was stretchy, simple, and surprisingly easy to slip on. It hugged my hips tightly, showing curves that weren't even really there. But I didn't care. I wasn't pretending to be a girl. Not exactly. But I was pretending not to love it. And then I made a mistake. I forgot to put something away. A makeup wipe on my desk. Faint traces of lipstick in the trash. A small heel mark left in the carpet. I didn't notice them. But Mom did. It was a Saturday afternoon. I was in my room when she knocked once and stepped in. She didn't say anything. Not at first. She was holding something. A tissue. A pair of tights. My heart stopped. I found these in your bathroom, she said. And the eyeliner on the sink. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. I felt my whole world crumbling. My stomach twisted. But instead of yelling, she smiled. I wish you had told me sooner, she said softly.
What?
My voice cracked. I've known for a while, she said, walking over and sitting on my bed. Little signs. I've just been waiting for you to feel safe enough. I didn't mean to. She placed a hand gently on mine. Tyler, it's okay. If this is something you enjoy, something that helps you explore who you are, I want to help. Help? I blinked. Was this really happening? You're not mad? She laughed.
Mad? No.
I'm proud of you. Most people go their whole lives scared to explore this side of themselves. I didn't know what to say. She looked around my room. You've only been using makeup so far, right? I nodded slowly. Well, she said, standing, if you're going to do it, then let's do it properly. That night, everything changed. She brought in one of her old dresses, something light and summery. A little big on me, but it didn't matter. Then she brought out her special makeup case, the one she saved for fancy dinners. She taught me how to contour, how to properly blend. She gave me one of her old wigs, brown, shoulder length, with soft bangs that framed my face. I looked in the mirror and nearly gasped. It wasn't Tyler anymore. It was someone else. You need a name, she said, tilting her head. I don't. Something pretty. Something soft. How about Tia? I didn't say anything. But I didn't say no either. The days blurred. Every afternoon, she'd call me to the bathroom after work. Come on, Tia. Let's try something new today. Heels. Dresses. Even bras with padding. I felt like a doll being dressed up. Painted, perfected. But something about it felt right. And wrong. I was losing track of myself. Of who Tyler was. Of who Tia was becoming. Was this just a game? A costume? Or something deeper? And always, there was Leah. She kept texting me. Leah. Wanna hang out tonight? Leah. You've been acting different lately. Everything okay? I ignored the first few. Then made up an excuse. Me. Studying. Lot going on. But the truth was, I was scared to face her. Because if she looked too closely, she might see what I was becoming. Or worse, she might hate it. One night, Mom handed me a shopping bag. Inside was a full outfit. a sleek red top, a pleated black miniskirt, fishnet stockings, and the highest heels I'd ever seen. "Try it on," she said with a wink. I hesitated. "Isn't this a little much?" She smiled. "You wanted to take it further, right?" I stared at her. "I didn't say that." "No," she said gently, "but your eyes did." I put on the outfit.
Step by step.
Stockings first, then the skirt, then the top. When I finally stepped into the heels and looked in the mirror, I saw her.
Tia.
Not a costume anymore, but a reflection that felt real. Too real. My phone buzzed. "Leah, I'm stopping by. Be there in 10. My heart stopped.
What?
Now? She never came over uninvited. I stood frozen, dressed like a stranger, lips red, wig perfect, skirt tight, and footsteps approached the front door. I stood frozen in my bedroom, the red top clinging to my chest, the fishnets tight on my legs. My lips were still wet with gloss. The wig tickled my cheeks. And Leah was outside. I heard the knock on the door. 3 polite taps. Then silence. My stomach twisted into knots. I yanked off the heels, kicked them under the bed, rushed to the door. "Mom," I whispered sharply. "Leah's here." Mom was in the hallway, still holding the lipstick she'd just applied to my lips a minute ago. She blinked, then smiled calmly. "Okay," she said. "Don't panic. Don't panic." I hissed. She walked to the door, smoothing her dress. "I'll stall her."
Get changed.
"Now." Leah's voice floated in a moment later. "Hi, Mrs. Reynolds. Is Tyler here?" Mom opened the door wider. "He's upstairs. Give him a moment, sweetie. He's just finishing up a shower." I could hear the pause in Leah's voice.
Oh.
Okay. I ran to the mirror, scrubbing at my lips with a towel. Lipstick smeared, too bright, too red. I pulled off the wig and tossed it under my bed. Yanked the red top off. Struggled with the skirt. It caught on the fishnets. My hands were shaking. Every movement felt slow, like I was underwater. The footsteps came closer. Mom didn't stop her. My bedroom door creaked open. "Tyler." I spun around, still halfway through pulling a hoodie over my makeup-streaked face. Leah stood in the doorway and froze. Her eyes darted to the skirt on the bed, to the fishnets I hadn't removed, to the traces of foundation still clinging to my jawline. She didn't say a word. Neither did I. The silence stretched into forever. I felt hot tears behind my eyes. I can explain," I choked out, voice barely a whisper. She stepped forward slowly, carefully. Was that makeup?" I nodded, staring at the floor. "And the skirt? That was yours." I nodded again. A long pause. Then I finally looked up at her. "Please don't hate me." My voice cracked. "I didn't mean for anyone to see. It's just I tried it once and then I couldn't stop. And Mom, she didn't make me, not really. I mean, I liked it and I hated liking it and now I don't even know who I am and—" Leah crossed the room before I could finish. I flinched, expecting her to turn and walk away. But she didn't. She reached out and touched my hand.
Gently.
"You looked kind of amazing," she whispered. My heart thudded in my chest. "What?" She smiled awkwardly. "The lipstick. The outfit. I mean, I didn't expect it. But I'm not disgusted, if that's what you're thinking." I stared at her, wide-eyed. "You're not?" "No," she said. "Honestly, I've been dealing with stuff too." I blinked. "Like what?" She hesitated, then laughed quietly. "I bind my chest sometimes. At home. My parents don't know. I've never told anyone, actually." My mouth fell open. "You mean you're—" She shrugged. "I don't know. Maybe. I like experimenting. I hate labels. I just like being me." Silence again. But this time, it wasn't heavy. It was shared. Safe. She sat beside me on the bed, looking at the scattered makeup, the heels poking out from beneath the bed frame, the half-folded hoodie in my lap. "So, what's her name?" she asked. I blinked. "Her. You know. You, but like that." I hesitated.
Tia.
She smiled. Tia suits you. My chest swelled, and a tear rolled down my cheek. I wiped it away quickly. Sorry.
Don't be.
She reached over and picked up the lipstick Mom had left behind. This is a really good shade, she murmured, twisting the cap open. Want me to put it back on for you? I looked at her, really looked at her. She wasn't judging me. She wasn't running. She saw me. I nodded. A minute later, she leaned close, her fingers soft and steady as she traced the color across my lips. There, she said. She held up my compact mirror. I looked at myself. My cheeks were flushed, my eyes watery, my lips red again. But this time, I didn't feel like I was pretending. This time, I felt like me. We sat in silence for a long time, the air charged with something delicate and new. I was so scared you'd hate me, I whispered. I was scared you'd hate me, she said softly. Then she leaned in, hesitated, and kissed me. Just once. But it felt like the world flipped upside down. The door creaked again. Mom peeked in, smiling. Everything okay in here? Leah grinned. Better than okay. I felt my face flush. I nodded slowly. Yeah, I said, brushing a strand of wig hair behind my ear. I think I'm finally figuring out who I am. The next morning, I woke up with smudged eyeliner and my heart full of questions. The night before had cracked me wide open. Not just because Leah had kissed me, but because she had seen me, accepted me. And somehow, I had accepted myself too. Downstairs, Mom was making pancakes. I walked into the kitchen still wearing the oversized hoodie, but under it, I could feel the tight hug of the camisole she'd given me yesterday. A secret comfort. She glanced up. Hey, sleepyhead. I smiled shyly. Hey. Feeling okay? I sat down slowly. More than okay. Just a lot. She nodded, sliding a plate toward me. That's life, honey. Messy and beautiful. I poked at the syrup before looking up at her. Why didn't you stop me? I asked softly. She tilted her head. From what? From trying makeup. From becoming this. She smiled gently. Because I saw how you looked when you saw yourself in the mirror. I haven't seen your eyes light up like that in years. I swallowed hard. She continued. You're still my child. Boy. Girl. In between. I don't care. I care that you're happy. That you feel free. I blinked rapidly. I didn't know I needed to hear that. She reached across the table, squeezing my hand. I know you didn't. Later that afternoon, I stood in front of the mirror again. This time alone. But I didn't feel alone. On the bed lay the soft floral sundress Mom had hung out for me. Next to it, a pair of white flats. And on the dresser, my favorite lipstick. I slipped into the dress slowly, pulled the wig on, brushed it out with care. My fingers no longer trembled when I applied the mascara. Each step felt lighter, easier. It wasn't about pretending anymore. It was about feeling right. When I stepped outside, Leah was waiting by the mailbox. She turned, and her eyes widened with delight. Whoa. I tugged self-consciously at the hem of the dress. Too much. She shook her head, smiling.
No.
You look happy. I couldn't help the smile that stretched across my face. I think I am. She reached for my hand, and I let her take it. Together, we walked down the sidewalk, the afternoon sun warm on my skin, the breeze catching the hem of my dress.
People passed by.
Some looked. Most didn't. But I didn't care. For the first time, I wasn't walking as a scared boy hiding a secret. I was walking as me. As Tia. That night, I stood in front of the mirror one last time before bed. I saw a girl with soft eyes and a quiet strength. Not perfect. Not certain of everything. But real. Becoming herself, step by step. I just wanted to try makeup. I whispered to my reflection, smiling. But now, I'm not sure I want to stop.